If it's Wednesday, it's Hump Day Hangover. Greetings everyone, I'm Bart, the Success Educator, and today's topic is embrace hard work. So get ready for some hard work, grab yourself a cup of coffee, or join me with a cocktail, and let's get started. This is Hump Day Hangover. Now take a moment and consider this. Hard work does not guarantee success, but no success is possible without hard work. So a great attitude to have is to work harder today than you did yesterday. And how do you do that? Be so good that they can't ignore you. Does that mean you have to work continuously? No. But just as success breeds success, laziness feeds laziness. Now, today's lessons with all come from my best-selling book, My Moment to Succeed. Go out to my website, successeducator.com. You'll find it there. You can purchase it from Amazon. I'll also personalize it and sign a copy for you. You also can find it in a number of independent bookstores. But let's get back to our topic of embracing hard work. Now, working hard does not necessarily mean that you have to punch a clock 9 to 5. It may mean that you need to work extra hours. But what it does mean is you need to identify when is the most optimum time for you to work. When are you at your very best? And once you discover that, it's also important to establish a quit time. You cannot work 24/7. 365. You've got to have a balance. You've got to have a quit time. Now, we all need a day off where we do absolutely nothing. The difference between much needed rest to recharge your system and just basically being lazy is a commitment. Much needed rest to recharge your system means you're committed to successfully achieving your goals, to successfully doing what you do best. If you never take a day off, then one thing is for certain, you'll burn out. Planned rest and downtime are critical. Now, each person has the same 525,600 minutes in a year. It's how you use those minutes that separate you from a 9 to 5 clock puncher. Prove to yourself you want to work harder, and you do this by accepting the challenge that you make hard work look easy. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, take control of your actions. Now, many people get overwhelmed by their professional and personal responsibilities. And if you allow yourself to get on edge, and remember, only you can do that, you are relinquishing self-discipline. Putting yourself out on edge or making yourself feel like you've hit a wall, that's only something you can do. And when you do that, what you're actually doing is you're allowing laziness to take over. Now, how often have you heard the phrase, I just don't give a damn? When you don't give a damn, that is the definition of laziness. Working harder today than you did yesterday only happens when you know your why. We've talked about this. You've got your what and your why. Your what is your job title. Your what is the work that you do. But why do you do it? Now, Mark Twain said, the two most important days in our lives are the day we were born and the day we find out why. If you're a baker, let's say, to pay the bills, but your passion is music, there's nothing wrong with baking bread. Baking bread becomes the ways to the means by which you become a professional musician. We all have to pay the bills. And you may need to work harder at baking so you can follow your dreams and fulfill your dreams and make those dreams your passion. Your passion for music and your drive to fulfill that dream is what fuels your commitment to work harder. Your passion and your dream to be the best musician is the fuel that makes you one of the best bakers out there. If you're a baker because it pays the bills and you're happy with that, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with settling for your what. But never expect anything more. That's all you're going to get. If you're satisfied with your what, and you don't seem to have any idea, or any desire rather, to discover your why. But odds are you're not that person. Odds are if you were that person, you wouldn't be listening to this video cast right now. You wouldn't have followed us along for these 24 weeks we've been doing this. So you see, the harder you work, the easier work becomes. And the harder getting lazy gets. When you commit to working harder than you did yesterday, you endorse the idea that tomorrow is no guarantee. Today is the day. And pretty soon you'll start to discover that you have more time to spend on your passion. You're developing a new work ethic that is transforming your time. And you're finding a better way to live those 525,600 minutes. You see, in essence, what's happening is working harder is becoming a habit. And when it becomes a habit, that's when following your passion and fulfilling your dream become easier, and you start to see that you are making it happen. Now, take a step back and understand that along your journey, obstacles, doubters, and mistakes are a given. We've talked about that. We know that. So how do you deal with that? Well, first of all, your mentor and your top 5 are essential. If you're not sure what we're talking about there, go back and look at some of our previous episodes. We talk about you being the average of the 5 people you most associate with, and that everyone needs to have a mentor or coach. So surround yourself with others who are working hard. Associate with like minds and those dedicated to transforming their own lives. Once you do that, your journey becomes more exciting, more meaningful, and more valuable. You're no longer satisfied with just results. What you're aiming for is unparalleled results. So start by creating small, bite-sized goals with your current work. Think of these goals as steps on a staircase. It's not necessary to see the top of the stairs to reach your goal. You start by taking the first step, and you continue step by step. Each individual step is required for you to reach the top. Yes, it is possible to take 2 or 3 steps at once, but if you do, 2 things happen. 1, you run the risk of falling, and 2, you miss the experience that step could provide. Now, equally important is spending time at the beginning and the end of your day in some form of meditation. It's important to decompress from your day. As you go to bed, fill your mind with thoughts of the future. Look at your future self. Identify characteristics. Look at what you're wearing. Look at how you dress. Look at who you associate with as your future self. And visualize where you see yourself when your why becomes your way of life. When this happens, your why and your purpose are in alignment. And I also want you to stay focused on the big picture. If the big picture is you center stage at a sold-out concert, then that next loaf of bread you bake is one step closer to having your dream a reality. Think of each slice of that bread as a measure in the song you are recording, or as a measure in the song you're writing. Create parallels and visualize your why in action. So you see, with hard work, there are no limits. Stay positive and remember that the only way to fail is to quit. If it is to be, It is up to me. Only you can make that happen. Talk a moment about our journaling activities for the week. Here's what I'd like for you to do. First of all, I want you to describe in detail your work ethic. What do you see as your area of strengths and areas where you need to improve? Then ask yourself, how would your coworkers respond? And then ask yourself, how would your family and friends respond? What steps are you ready to take to commit to working harder and smarter? And can you articulate your why? And then probably most important, is your why becoming your purpose and your way of life? Now, today's Bartism comes from the legendary coach, Lou Holtz. And Lou Holtz reminds us that winners embrace hard work. They love the discipline of it, the trade-off they're making to win. Losers, on the other hand, see it as punishment. And that's the difference. Winners love hard work. Losers see it as punishment. And don't forget that gratitude list, 3 to 5 things you're grateful for. And once again, thank you for spending a few moments with me. Hit that subscribe button below. Click on the bell next to it to receive your notifications. Go out to my website, successeducator.com. Across the top, you'll see the links to my social media. Follow me on there. Be sure to share and comment on this video cast. I'll share your thoughts in future episodes. And of course, visit the Success Store. And remember, what comes to mind when someone mentions your name? That is your brand. So until next Wednesday, this has been Hump Day Hangover.